Welcome to Histology, where mythology and history meets. What if I told you that ancient Rome had a healthcare and pension system more advanced than most civilizations for the next 1,000 years? The real story of how Rome treated its wounded soldiers will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about the ancient world. Stay with me until minute 12, because that's when I'll reveal the shocking truth about Roman military benefits that even historians rarely discuss. This isn't just ancient history. The system Rome created 2,000 years ago still influences how modern nations treat their veterans today. Let me take you back to a moment that changed everything for Roman soldiers forever. Picture this: a young legionnaire stands at the recruitment station, about to sign his life away for 25 years of service. 25 years. That's how long a Roman soldier served before he could retire with honor and return to civilian life. But here's the terrifying question every recruit faced: how do you survive that long when death lurks in every battle? For centuries, wounded Roman soldiers had no guarantee of survival, no promise of care, and certainly no benefits if they fell in combat. If you're fascinated by how Rome solved this crisis, hit that subscribe button now. What comes next will blow your mind. Everything changed when one man recognized that Rome's greatest military power came not from its tactics, but from caring for its warriors. Emperor Augustus understood something revolutionary: soldiers who knew they'd be cared for would fight harder, stay loyal longer, and transform Rome's armies forever. In one sweeping reform, Augustus created the world's first comprehensive military medical system, complete with doctors, support teams, and massive field hospitals. Each Roman legion suddenly had access to trained physicians, skilled surgeons, and medical facilities that could treat up to 500 wounded soldiers. These weren't primitive healers with herbs and prayers. These were highly educated medical professionals who understood anatomy, surgery, and battlefield trauma. The results were absolutely staggering. Roman military doctors could save up to 70% of wounded soldiers who made it to their care. 70%. In an era when most armies left their wounded to perish, Rome was performing successful surgeries and returning soldiers to duty. Medical teams stayed close to military headquarters, ready to receive wounded warriors who arrived on horseback from the front lines of combat. But saving lives was only the beginning. Augustus knew that survival alone wasn't enough to secure a soldier's loyalty for 25 brutal years. Hold on to that detail, because what happens next reveals the true genius of Rome's military system and why it dominated for centuries. The emperor faced a critical question: what happens to a soldier who survives his wounds but can never fight again? During the Roman Republic, soldiers who conquered territory in battle could keep parcels of that land when they retired from military service. Caesar's legionnaires who conquered Gaul received land there as payment. It was brutal, simple, and left disabled soldiers with almost nothing. There was no pension system, no financial security, and no guarantee that a wounded veteran wouldn't end up begging in Rome's streets. Augustus looked at this broken system and made a decision that would revolutionize military service forever. He created the world's first military pension fund. This wasn't just a small treasury. Augustus personally seeded this revolutionary fund with 170 million sesterces of his own wealth. To put that in perspective, that's equivalent to funding the entire Roman military for multiple years. It was an investment in loyalty itself. But Augustus knew that even his personal fortune wouldn't sustain this system forever. So he did something absolutely brilliant. Before we continue with the most fascinating part of Rome's veteran benefits system, please subscribe to Histology to support our mission bringing history to life. The emperor established permanent funding through taxation, a 5% inheritance tax and a 1% tax on goods sold at auction. Every single Roman citizen was now contributing to the care of the soldiers who defended their empire, their families, and their way of life. 3 military prefects managed this massive fund, ensuring that every soldier who completed his service would receive the benefits Rome had promised. We've uncovered how Rome cared for wounded soldiers during service, but now comes the incredible revelation about what happened when they finally retired. After 25 years of brutal service, risking death in Germania's forests, Egypt's deserts, and Britannia's mists, a soldier's moment of freedom finally arrived. The honorable discharge was called misio, and it came with a payment that would change a veteran's life forever: 12,000 sesterces. That's roughly 3,000 denarii, equivalent to about $20,000 in modern currency. For a common soldier, this was transformative wealth. But remember this number, because at minute 12, I'll show you how disabled soldiers received something completely different, and the details will surprise you. A centurion, Rome's backbone of battlefield leadership, could retire with up to 600,000 sesterces. That's 50 times what a regular soldier received. This created a professional military class with genuine financial incentive to serve Rome with distinction, bravery, and unwavering loyalty for decades. But what about the soldier who gave everything for Rome and left the battlefield broken, unable to ever serve again? This is where Rome's system reveals its true innovation and why it was centuries ahead of any other civilization on Earth. A disabled soldier received a different document, the Misio Causa, proving he had served Rome honorably before injury ended his military career. The payment structure was calculated with mathematical precision based on years served before the injury that forced his discharge from active duty. If a legionnaire served 12 years before being wounded too severely to continue, he would receive exactly 50% of a full pension. That means 1,500 denarii, still enough to purchase land, start a business, or support a family for years in reasonable comfort. But here's where it gets fascinating. Rome didn't just hand out money on a soldier's word that he was truly disabled and deserving. To receive the Misio Causa and its benefits, the wounded soldier had to undergo examination by not one, not two, but 3 military physicians. 3 doctors would independently verify the soldier's injuries, assess whether recovery was possible, and determine if he deserved full disability benefits from Rome. Only after this rigorous medical review would the empire grant a disabled veteran the funds needed to live the rest of his days. This ancient system had built-in fraud prevention, medical oversight, and bureaucratic checks that many modern governments would find impressively sophisticated. This brings us to the turning point that made Rome's veteran care system unlike anything the ancient world had ever seen before. The Misio Causa came with more than just money. It granted disabled veterans small but valuable parcels of land throughout the conquered territories. It provided the right to create a military will during service, which remained legally valid for 1 year and could name any Roman citizen. And it included the peculium castrans, allowing the soldier to pass money and goods earned during service directly to a son or even a slave. Higher-ranking officers like Primus Pilus centurions accessed an additional benefit that wasn't part of the public fund at all: private investment schemes. These were managed by brokers for specific companies, essentially creating private pensions that paid large amounts annually to Rome's military elite. So far we've seen how Rome revolutionized military medicine and created history's first pension system, but the most dramatic revelation is still ahead. A retired soldier who had served Rome with exceptional distinction could receive the ultimate honor, recalled to service as one of the Evocati. The Evocati were Rome's most elite veterans, recalled to serve again not as common soldiers but as special forces, advisors, and symbols of Roman might. Even soldiers too physically damaged for combat weren't discarded. Rome found administrative roles for intelligent, educated veterans who could still serve the empire intellectually. This meant a legionnaire with severe physical injuries could continue contributing, earning income, and maintaining dignity even when his sword arm no longer worked. What seemed like simple pragmatism was actually revolutionary compassion. Rome understood that a soldier's value extended far beyond his ability to hold a shield. The ancient Romans, living in what we often dismiss as a brutal and uncivilized era, understood something that took the modern world centuries to relearn. Taking care of soldiers who risked everything for their nation wasn't just moral. It was strategic, ensuring loyalty, recruitment, and the military dominance that built an empire. Thanks for watching this incredible journey through Roman military innovation. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Histology for more fascinating stories from history.